The most exciting Champions League quarterfinals in history were officially closed yesterday, after Barcelona and Atletico Madrid were reluctant to quit the league last night. Despite winning a big turnover advantage, with Arsenal and Manchester City having to say goodbye to their trip to Wembley to win the throne. Before the quarterfinals in the four pairs, most experts judge Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, or somewhat like Barcelona, all have a better chance than their opponents of winning a quarterfinals ticket. And after the turn's over, this assumption is perfectly well-founded. So the fact that all four of these teams were eliminated was really a surprise to the fans. The first was with the Catalan team of Barcelona, who had a big advance after the turn, again had a lead goal in the return round, but Ronald Araujo's red card broke it all. At the level of a Champions League quarterfinals, missing a man from a very early age is a disaster. So that Barca slowly loses advantage and eventually stumbles to give the tickets to those from Paris. 7 years ago, Barcelona made the classic reversal against PSG, but after 7 years, the people who laughed after the game are no longer them. The bridge between those two reverse lines is nobody else but Luis Enrique, who won the final win after all. Barca coached that day and PSG now. With the Gules, their pain is multiplied by the glowing smile of the guy Ousmane Dembele, a man whom Barcelona brought home for a record price, struggling with injuries and never meeting expectations. On that day, faced with a choice between Dembele and Kylian Mbappe, Barca's leader chose Dembele to skip Mbappe and bitterly embrace his choice, so that they both finally joined PSG. And what happened yesterday morning we've all seen. A little different from his home team, Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid is much more appreciated than his opponent. Experience, the quality of the staff, plus the one-table edge at the turn, gave Simeone and the students so many advantages in the return game. But after the game ended, they shared their fate with their home team. Atletico's top goalkeeper has been pushed into the grid by the home team to 4 goals, making the total of 4 goals they've scored in 2 games meaningless, as Dortmund can do more than that. You can say, after so many years, Simeone's team isn't so hard to play anymore. Their shaggy Lions aren't the same as they were years ago. An unstable Borussia Dortmund this year can make them hate. Do the leaders of Atletico think it's time for a change? Unlike Munich, which is about 600 kilometers from Sino Iduna Park, another Bundesliga representative has also filled his name in the semi-finals. No one but Bayern, Germany's top flag in the European arena. Joshua Kimmich's only win was enough for the Bavarian grey hole to remove the artillery from the game. Dirty old man. Experience once again helped Bayern overtake the opponent. Unlike other matches in the past, when Bayern simply crushed Arsenal, this time it was a little harder for Allianz Arena. Arsenal once again showed a stall, a shortage of steam in the decisive moments of the season. Just like last weekend's Aston Villa defeat, Mikel Arteta and his students had an exciting first round before they were completely stuck in the second half. The artillery completely lost sight of the home team, so they had to accept their defeat once again against their disgusting opponent. Finally, the final ticket for the semi-finals is the name, surprise. But it's not too surprising. The first surprise that can be said is that Real Madrid has overtaken a powerful opponent, who also eliminated them last season, Manchester City. And not too surprisingly, we can understand that. In the Champions League, Real Madrid is simply the king. To be sure, getting too much of each other doesn't make Real a better match than what happened in Etihad. Over 120-foot matches. What one can say is that Real Madrid suffered and survived the terrible torture of the home team. And then when we can get Manchester City into the risky rotating series, it's believed that Real can win in the end. Actually, to be able to beat Manchester City in 2 games is too difficult for the whole of Europe right now, if it's not Real Madrid who can do that. Qualification, talent, and luck are the 3 essential factors to subdue Pep Guardiola's team. And unfortunately for Pep, on a beautiful day, Carlo Ancelotti and his students got it. The quarterfinals are closed, and it's surprising that after years, there's not a single Premier League representative in the semi-final. The Bundesliga, by contrast, has two players split in pairs, where Borussia Dortmund will face PSG, and Bayern once again face Real Madrid. Will there be another German final like it was 12 years ago? We're waiting for what happens in the semifinals.